and welcome to the Lando Calrissian
what is that
episode
about?
of the back of the
That's
class.
pretty
I'm
good.
talking about
That's a deep one, though.
the Billy D. Williams Code 45.
Oh.
Every time.
I would say welcome to the Michael Jordan baseball edition
And then
and
the
return
comeback.
edition. And the Space Jams came out with the 45 in the back last Saturday. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, so we right on stride
Right
with pop culture
on
here
time.
on the
Come
Back
on,
of the
Zach.
Class
Who's your
podcast.
45, bro?
I'll get you guys something for later.
Yeah. We're gonna end the podcast for the year.
I can't
on
wait.
Zach's 45.
I can't wait for your
No
tennis
pressure.
player who's
So,
45
yeah.
years old.
No pressure.
This is it, unless something really draws us back in the next
Right.
couple weeks for you guys.
Right, yeah, man. This will be our year-end episode of the Back of the Class, and it's going to be a good one. We're going to talk about Kanye and Trump's meetup. We're going to talk about the Hottest MCs list that we found out was fake, but still stirred up a lot of conversation. I have a Too Short in Detroit City interview that I did that I want to drop in here. It was a really, really dope interview. And then what rap fads do we hope stay in 2016 and not continue on, and then some predictions for 2017 hip hop, what we see heading in. So yeah, I mean, if you guys have been listening, thank you. This has been an awesome year for hip hop. It's been an awesome year for us to more or less to talk about hip hop. It's been a great year to talk.
This is true.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's get into it. So. About was it a week after Kanye got out of the psychiatric hospital, or was it a couple of days after?
It was like 1.5, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay.
It was the second thing he did.
Yeah,
out
the
of the
first thing he did
hospital
was
that we
dye his
saw.
hair.
First thing he did was dye his hair and go to an art show or something.
Right, of
Second
course.
thing he did was keep that dyed hair and walk into the lobby of a New York City skyscraper.
Looking like a gang member from that gang from Meteor Man. With the bleached hair and wearing all black.
Word. But
I hope that's what he was going for, because if he was, he nailed that shit.
yeah, he might have been. Look, they might have only had UPN in the psych ward, and he only got to watch Meteor Man and other
Word.
random.
The Golden Lords.
The Golden Lord.
There it is. If his next album is called The Golden Anything,
He's been headed in the golden direction and the Lord direction. So I wouldn't be surprised if those two worlds met. But anyway, this was a polarizing event in hip-hop. Either you looked at it and thought it was, potentially a great meeting and conversation, or you looked at it and was like, what the fuck is Kanye doing? Here we go again. I'm going to start it off. And, of course, I am not in the popular opinion, but I think that this is a great step in the right direction for Kanye West meeting with Trump on our behalf. And let's be clear. This is the same man who got on national television and said that George Bush does not care about black people.
Is it the same man? Is it?
That's a great question, Zach.
to me, it's the same guy who just
they
left
got
the psych ward.
They got the same social security number and birth certificate.
True.
So I like to think that, Kanye meeting with Trump wasn't a mutual ass kissing session, but actually some things were addressed. I mean, it wasn't very long ago that Kanye gave us songs like New Slave and still very socially conscious, even though he's been painted in the image of being a crazy lunatic. And also, I've been prepping a lot this week for a Gucci Mane interview that didn't even happen. Shout out to Gucci and his team for canceling on us. But Gucci did a 180 after he got out of jail and completely, turned his life around. Who knows? Maybe Kanye did the same thing.
I agree with Zach in that he's
we
not
haven't
the
even
same.
heard Zach's
But I can tell.
yet.
I can tell his wheels are turning. But I agree. I don't think it's the same Kanye.
It's a weird line.
During Hurricane Katrina, Kanye was not selling clothes with holes in them for fucking $2,000.
Oh shit!
Am I wrong? He wasn't.
No, but he might have been buying clothes with holes in them for $2,000.
That's
He
a
was on a different
story.
side of the coin.
I want Zach to go first.
Man.
I just went first.
I mean, and I just said before me.
Go ahead, Zach.
Man, I don't know. I feel like he's being taken advantage of.
You think it's a publicity stunt?
I think specifically it's him being taken advantage of.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't think he understands like the impact of what he does right now with some of these things. Like I don't know if he was thinking about what anybody is hearing when he's on stage ranting for like 45 minutes that night. I think when he said that he would have voted for Trump, we went for a very long time, and he said then to go and like be with this guy, go all in on the handshake with him,
Right. The autograph. Ask for the man's autograph.
Yeah, post a picture of his Time magazine cover signed by Trump saying you're a great friend. And like I was telling Esteban last night, one of the first things that happened with Kanye in Obama's presidency was he said he's a jackass. Like that was very early on. And so now Kanye wants to, he wants to set a new tone, I think this time. Man, like what is it? What is it? Like Obama calling Kanye a jackass and Trump calling him a great friend. Those are the day one tone setters.
But going back, why at the time and even right now, as long as Kanye's been in the limelight, the general consensus with anyone you ask is that he is a jackass. I mean, the best headline written was, I believe, by Rolling Stone with the picture of them two together, Trump and Kanye, was "Stupid douchebag meets stupid douchebag." And I thought that was fucking amazing. Ooh. My take is, like, a lot of stuff that happened at the same time that a lot of stuff was happening politically behind Trump. Like, there was stuff where he was supposed to have a press conference about how he was going to get rid of the conflict of interest with his businesses before he took office. Like, that's still a very big issue.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that that had to happen, and this just took over, like, everything.
Right.
And in fashion of what he, like, this is
smoke and mirrors.
Operating procedure for him when it's
and he's got all these cabinet people coming in. There's all this shit going down in Syria.
Is like, I equated it to the Suicide Squad. It is like the most diabolical human beings teamed up for one mission, and it's not good.
Our dude Sean King at the Daily News, who we mentioned before, he published an article today saying definitively it's the least educated cabinet they ever had.
Oh my goodness!
So but that was my take. It was like you said, maybe he is being taken advantage of, where they were like, we need something to completely cover the fact that we just rescheduled this press conference that they probably have no clue,
and that we're appointing all these bigots.
Like it was just smoke and mirrors. Like, yo, we need something. Let's get and then did it work? Fuck yes, it worked.
It did, but I also didn't appreciate everybody acting like we can only think about one thing at a time.
This is true, but it is America.
Yeah, but then that's another thing. It's America, man.
I like, and to your point, yes, I think the majority of the public can read different stories and think about different things. But when we give this country too much credit, dude.
Right.
We keep proving time, and we don't say we because we fucking live here. We're part of it.
Right.
We keep proving time and time again that we are not fucking smart, like straight up. So, like you say, like I do feel like he's being taken advantage of, and it's a shame. But like that, they know, those people know what they're brilliant of the way they.
Oh yeah, the facade.
The way the bait and switch that he did on everyone who voted for him. That is obvious and plain as day when you read the news and you read the articles, the people he appoints, and it doesn't matter because the fact could be in their hands and they will not admit it.
Right.
Most of them.
Right.
And this whole thing is just another chapter in that.
Do you guys think, like, have you ever looked to Kanye as, like, an important voice?
I've often looked to Kanye as the possibility of being an important voice. I feel like he thinks he's an important voice, but a lot of the things that he's voicing is only important to him. I feel like early on, he had the making of being an important voice in culture. You know what I mean? Like, again, going back to the Katrina telethon, getting on that platform at his career, where he was in his career, which wasn't very big, and saying that he could have been blackballed. It could have been. He went up against all of those odds and got on there and straight up said, George Bush doesn't care about black people. That sent shockwaves through the world. You know what I'm saying? So that right there was a moment where it was great promise.
Yeah, he has used his voice well, but I don't think he's ever done it consistently enough to where I'm looking for him to say something and
I think he did
to
it
lead the conversation.
I think he did it in the beginning,
right?
Because he used to a lot of the shit. If you go back and listen to those songs in College Dropout, there was very conscious raps in those records.
Right.
Him saying that as well. You know, Jesus Walks. The track where the name always escapes me when I hear it. I know exactly what it is with Freeway and
2 words.
Yeah, like that's a conscious song. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, but at some point he just went away from that completely. And then like you said, now he just says shit that is important to him. Now when he rants, it's about him, people's perception towards him, his place in the artist, atmosphere to him. It's all about him. You know what I'm saying? And I think at some point he just skewed somewhere else where we all thought he would go.
Right.
Because now his music, like, once in a while, like, Black Slaves and all that good stuff, he'll do it, but he won't follow up on it.
Right, exactly. It's like when he puts it out there, it's great, it's nice to have, but I don't ever, like, count on him for it.
I think one interesting thing, and this is, like, kind of funny but kind of not at the same time, I think the most telling thing that I took away from this was the autograph. When Donald Trump considered Kanye West a great friend. I feel like, again, his slogan was "Make America Great Again." I really don't feel like he knows the definition of great. Because if this is a dude you met for maybe the first or second time right here, he's not a great friend to you.
No, don't throw that around. Like
that word "great," he just throws it around like it's not. People, and that's another misconception. What our definition of great is, and what his definition of great is, a completely different thing. Because if Kanye West is a great friend in the same way that you want to make America great again, and that's not very good. Your bar is set very low.
It also, what does it say about, because we're talking about Kanye meets Trump, what does it say about Trump meeting Kanye, who just got out of who obviously has issues right now?
Right.
You, as a human, do you really want to take someone away from the help they need to be getting instead of flying to come see you?
He doesn't care.
But that's what I'm saying.
But what about Kanye's
that says
man,
volumes
dude? Like,
about him. Like, you think if it was, Obama or Hillary or Bernie or whoever, it'd be like, dude, go get help. Like, you obviously have issues. You need to work out to better yourself, to better your family, just your whole situation.
Right.
You should not be flying here to fucking do a photo op and then get a signed magazine.
I don't think Kanye thought it was a photo op. I thought Kanye thought it was a real opportunity, like you said, to make a connection with the most powerful man in the world, soon to be.
Yeah, he said we talked about multicultural issues, talked about gun violence in Chicago, we talked about education. Great. What did you guys each say those words once to each other in your 15 minutes and then peace out? Like,
how much of that does Kanye know in depth? Because he is like, he's on another planet, dude. Like, this is the same guy who wants you to buy his clothes for $1,000, $2,000. Does pop-up shops that people line up for and pay that money. Drops kicks that are limited, cost $220, and then resell for thousands of dollars. And then he goes on tour. And then he'll rant and then leave in 40 minutes when people are paying their hard-earned money to buy his clothes, his music, his concert ticket, and then you're going to shit by leaving them high and dry after a 20-minute set. Like, that is not the person that should be representing the black community, the hip-hop community.
What about, though, like around September, I started thinking about the end of the year stuff, and I was really thinking about, like, writing something or just talking on the show about, like, how Kanye dominated the year more than any hip-hop artist, maybe more than any artist. Like, Pablo he started getting everybody riled up about it in January. He debuted it on, like, February 8th, and, like, from then on. Like, everything he's done has been big. He's been on everybody's tongue the whole year.
Right.
So man, like, I'm actually kind of impressed he hasn't had a full-on, like, fuck-up or meltdown, like, irreparable sort of thing.
Right.
Like, things are moving so fast, we haven't even forgot about, like if my wife had been robbed at gunpoint and I have, like, 2 little kids, I would still be, like, fucked up about that, you know? And it's just, like, one thing after another just keeps coming, and, like, oh, man.
Cult of personality, bro.
So, he's still treading water somehow.
No, that's a good point. And it's ill because I remember when you were talking about the Madison Square Garden show, and you were saying you were looking for him to have a major fuck up during that weekend because he had so many balls in the air.
Yeah.
And so it does seem like everything, like nothing is, you know,
and look at
irreversible.
the bookends of that too. All of January when he's hyping Pablo, it's like people in the studio, everybody's Instagramming, all these names. Just look at that track list. Picture the picture of that legal pad track list, every name on there, and look at the picture of him in Trump Tower alone with Donald Trump. Where is everybody now? Like, they were all with him at Madison Square Garden. They were all on the record. They were all tagging along, and then it slowly died out.
What about the loony bin? How many people, you know,
went and visited,
or, you know,
not Jay-Z.
Oh shit.
Well, we knew that. Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah,
this shit was on that.
Oh man.
What's funny is that Jay gave LeBron an award. I forget what it was. Some big award that LeBron just got. And while he was on stage giving him the award, he says in his speech, you know, listen to all these accolades LeBron, you know, hit, and he goes, put his posse in position. And, like, you know, that was obviously a shot at Phil Jackson for calling LeBron's crew his posse. Mm-hmm. But, like, so Jay is...
Jay just did a concert for Hillary. Okay, but hold on. What about Pusha T?
What about
Pusha T was became one of the biggest faces for Hillary and Kane in the last month.
Right.
But it's also
what the fuck is he thinking, man?
But then it goes back to
we already know what John Legend is thinking.
Right.
Wait, what did he say?
Oh man, he went hard.
Upset.
He said, "I can't believe." He said, "I'm very disappointed in Kanye. Trump's ideas and actions have been very corrosive to American society. I'm very disappointed. He would have said he would have voted for him." And then the interviewer goes like, "Well, he's having some troubles lately. Like, what do you think's going on in his head?" And he goes, "I don't care what's going on in his head. I disagree with it."
Wow.
So, man. I don't know.
Listen, I mean, I had this conversation with someone in the office the other day too. Like, I've been in this industry now, I don't know, 12 years.
40 years.
Shut up.
45?
I've been in this industry for 12 years now. My very first year in the industry, and many leading up, I've worked with Kanye, and I've always saw him being off. Mm-hmm. But I've never seen anyone check him for it ever. And that is usually the job of someone who is close to you, that be it a friend, be it a parent, be it a manager, be it someone who you have a high regard of respect for.
Your wife or anybody in this family who has adopted you and who you really appreciate, and they all know how to navigate this stuff.
Right. I mean, I can recall 3 and 4 moments.
You talk about the Kardashians?
They know how to move.
I mean, they know how to fucking navigate a publicity minefield.
They also know how to execute a publicity stunt as well. But, you know what I mean? I'm just saying all of that to say that I feel like this is a problem that went unchecked for years, and now here we are at this moment of breakdown, a moment of dyeing his hair, a moment of getting out of the psych ward, a moment of meeting with Donald Trump, and we don't know what the hell's going on. But at the same time, come on, you had those close to him had to see this coming forever. When did you think this, the wheels were going to fall off? Did you not think ever? I mean, it has been a 12-year run, but I mean, come on, man.
Well, I got a one little hopeful button to end this with if you guys are ready. The last 2 New Year's he has put out a song. So if that has become an important tradition to him, maybe we'll hear something from him in a couple weeks.
They said he was making music in the loony bin.
So let's see.
We soon shall see. Now on to some real news pertaining to hip hop. So this fake MTV Hottest MCs list came out, and it had elite, and it had like legends of past their prime. It had like underrated. It had like overrated. It had like a lot of different tiers to the list, and a lot of names were all over that list, and people were arguing and debating them, even though the list was fake. But Juan and I kind of, had this conversation. What makes a list credible? Because there were some names that weren't on that particular list that we now see as fake. That, in my opinion, made it discredited the list. So I would like to come up with a definitive criteria for what makes a credible hip-hop list. And first and foremost, in my opinion, you have to define whether it's MC, meaning like a lyricist, or rapper, meaning entertainer.
Yep.
Because if we're talking about bars, we're muting a beat, and we're talking about the words that are coming out of your mouth, that is an MC.
Also, you gotta
put away different.
Yeah, no, I agree. You gotta set aside the superstardom, the popularity, the clothing
record
lines,
sales,
the reach.
That doesn't. I've never seen that though.
Right.
So that would be a good.
I think Vibe took a stab at it a couple of years ago. Because I remember that's the
of the year
Joe
though,
Budden.
or like the best lyricist ever.
Like,
yeah,
Joe Budden was going to. It was like
wasn't that the one that Tupac wasn't on?
No, that was Billboard.
Was
like
that? It was Billboard,
ago, yeah.
right?
No, like there was one that Vibe came out with that like Joe Budden, like it's like famous now. Like he's going through like the brackets, and that's where his beef with Method Man came out because like he was like, I love Method Man, but there's no way you're beating so and so. And he's like, they put me in the first round against Eminem. I'm taking that L.
Right.
Like he's going through it, and like there's like legit names of like rappers who are not successful rappers, but who could rap circles around the most popular rappers.
Right.
So that's a very important criteria. The funny thing about that list is, as we were going down that list, I would say 2/3 going through it, I believed all the bullshit because it's MTV. I'm sorry, not to take shots at MTV, but like they've done these they've done it every year, right?
Yeah.
And every year it's like it's a shitty list. So we're like going through it, and it sounds ludicrous, but we're both like, but in my head I'm just like, yeah, it's MTV. So like it didn't seep into me that it was fake until like the very end. But for a good time, I thought it was a legit MTV list because like I don't know who's working there anymore. Esteban's worked there more than I have. I worked at VH1.
Right.
But like I don't know who the fuck does any other hip hop or rap reporting over there, if they even do it anymore, because it's not like, according to those lists that they put out, it's fucking terrible.
Now so back to the criteria.
Right. Just let's name like dream things that make it a good list, or just like in a perfect world.
Right. All right. Well, because a lot of the argument that I was having, with some of my people were about artists who weren't necessarily a big enough name, but definitely worthy in terms of their skill base. So what is the criteria to even be considered for the list? Signed, unsigned? What is the mixtape, like outlet, press? What qualifies you?
Is it one certain type of list you're thinking of, or just like
talk about
hip hop
hottest MCs, rappers, lyricists? That's number one.
No, you can't do hottest, because hottest makes it sound like the most popular person.
Right.
So it's like best
rappers.
Say the headline of a list that you want to know is the perfect list, and then we'll figure it out.
Best rappers in the game.
Best rappers in the game. Okay. I like when lists have multiple voices on them, so you can tell it's a consensus. It's not one man or woman's opinion.
Right.
I like when you either got to go all the way and say this is definitive, this is how it is, and you got to back it up, or kind of better, I think, acknowledge that it's subjective and
100%.
Because
it is.
Be open about it.
Right.
We did that earlier this year or last year. We 3 collaborated on something, and we called it 10 of the best mixtapes of the last 10 years. And it's like it's 10 years. Yeah. That's hundreds of mixtapes. We're not gonna fucking say the 10 best.
You're gonna tell me this.
We're not gonna say the 10 best. Yeah. It's just 10 of the best.
To us.
Right.
Yeah. So make it clear like what your stance is.
Right.
But then from there, I don't know what makes it credible or not.
Yeah, because it has to be the artist has to reach an actual like point of notoriety. Because I've had these conversations where I'll be like, yeah, so and so is probably the best doing it now. Like, nah, man, there's this guy, and his name is XY, and I'm like, I don't know who that is. Like, oh, dude, like he's just coming up. But like he's the greatest thing in the world, and I'm like, yeah, but he's just coming up, like.
Right.
And so much of it is like success and being competitive, you know.
Yeah.
Like I can think of a good analogy for that, which is in skateboarding. There's this guy called Rodney Mullen who there's nobody in the world who can do half of what this guy does. He's been around forever. He invented the kickflip, but he's not that big of a name. But he is just the best. So there is a rapper, or there are rappers out there who are like that.
Right.
But
there's this guy's name is Black Thought. And he's pretty much the best rapper on planet Earth, but no one even acknowledges that he exists because they can't do half the shit that he does. But let alone he never gets mentioned on any of these lists. That was the first thing that I noticed when I made me scratch my head. I'm like, maybe this list isn't legit because in the legends that are past their prime category, Jay-Z, Kanye, all these people were on there, but Black Thought never gets mentioned. And I'm glad he wasn't past his prime because I don't think he's ever been in his prime ever because he's just been consistently amazing.
Peaked,
Fabulous was not on the list. I'm like, that's one of the most consistent delivering MCs, period.
I guess it would just have to be like if you were going to do that today, try to make it good, and it was going to be called that, like general headline, you would have to just try to consider everything, like do a really good job, try to consider their place, try to consider their success, their lyrics, their production.
Now, does the people who are making the list or arguing the list, do they need to be of a certain criteria?
Oh, like I'm very big on credibility.
Better than not,
If I'm very interested in rap and hip hop, and I see people like at a circle talking about it, or on a panel, or anywhere near a discussion, and they are they're not journalists, they're not artists, they're not managers, they're not public, they're not people of any consequence in that community. Why should I care what you think? Because that's just getting somebody off the street. You know what I mean? Like there's no professional.
There's no work history.
Yeah,
there's
it's
no
all about
record.
credibility. You know, like you don't just get Joe Schmo to talk about something that they have no experience in.
Yeah.
So that's a big. I mean, we just talked about it. Like you see an MTV list and you just go like, this is probably gonna suck. You see maybe a Complex or maybe a Double XL or a Vibe. You're like, all right, they've been writing about hip hop and rap for fucking decades
on a daily basis.
Yeah, on a daily basis. So
not when it's convenient.
I'll listen to their opinion before I listen to MTV, who one day covers B, where the next day they cover Schoolboy Q. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think 100% of people in the discussion have to have credibility when it comes to what they're talking about.
That's all I wanted to really.
So
say.
a lot of times, like in the comment section on these lists, somebody will say, "You didn't have this. This whole list is worthless."
Right.
Is there stuff like that for you guys where if there's like one thing
Black
about
Thought.
it, then it's if Black Thought's not on there,
If Black Thought is not on your list, then your list is irrelevant.
It depends
That's
on the
just
list.
my opinion.
It depends on the list.
To me, it doesn't. If the best sous chefs ever who are left-handed with one eye, and Black Thought is not on that list, then your whole sous chef left-handed one eye list is discredited.
Yeah.
Like you could have the best MCs list,
Right.
and then you could have the hottest rapper list.
Yeah.
Right.
And there'll be two completely different lists.
And I agree with
and they'll
that.
be valid.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
you could say the hottest rapper list, and you could fucking throw J. Cole, Drake, whatever the fuck. But you could have the hottest MC, and Drake could be nowhere near it, and that
Right.
would be fair to say.
Right.
So
I like that. Yes.
Well, I just want to tell you guys we're on the brink of, or by the time you've listened to this, probably already have published the 20 best mixtapes of the year. And I'm so excited about this list.
Right.
Like we had 6 people, I think, throw in. We like crowdsourced it. We talked about it, and there's just like we had the widest view. Like, sure, Chance is on there, but like people that like Big Crit is on there with that 12 for 12 thing. Like, it's just such a good list. Like I'm really happy with how it looks. So just
good. I can't wait to
and
hear
the thing
that.
too, like, and I love that when you write these articles, you acknowledge like music is one of the most subjective things like in the fucking world.
Grain of salt, people.
Don't take that shit as gospel. Like I don't take lists.
Yeah.
You know.
Word.
Especially when everybody's putting them out. I mean, that's that's part of why people don't come with the soft angle of like our 20 favorite albums of the year, because it's kind of obvious when every site has it out. Like
right.
You better not be thinking that your list is actually the right one.
Word. Well, if you're writing a list about some of the legends in hip hop, and
you better
our
fucking get
next
Black Dot
guest
on there.
is not on your list, Too Short, then you should just
Your list is
delete
too short.
that list. Your list is too
Oh,
short.
there
That's
you go.
hot. Anyway, I got Too Short and Detroit City on the phone to talk about their new record, and I want to share it with you right now. Check it out. Right now, I'm on the line with the OG Too Short and Detroit City. Thanks so much for calling into the Fuse Back of the Class podcast, fellas.
What's up? What's up? No sweat.
Now, originally, when I heard about the two of you guys working together, I thought it might have been an odd pairing. But then I realized that there's some synergy between the Detroit players and the pimping that goes on in the Bay Area. Am I right? Is there some synergy between those two towns?
Definitely the cities are on the same vibe, man. It's been a long time, even before my time, that Detroit and Oakland have, acknowledged each other as cities and how they move around and how the players move around. So it's, as far as the game goes,
right.
It's always been a connection.
Did that energy transpire into the studio? Tell me about Freaky. How did this record come about, and what was it like working together on this record?
Well, I got a hold of the track, man, and I, the hook and everything was on there, and it just kind of motivated me. I recently, in recent years, I've been really like lured and seduced by the house music, EDM movement and shit, and I just kind of, I really wanted to be a part of it in some kind of way. I've been, doing stuff with different DJs and different crews and different shows and stuff, and I just wanted to be a part of it, man. So that was right up my alley.
Wasn't it?
Motherfuckers, and I'm like, real life shit.
Word.
Yeah, and there wasn't another human being on the planet that we could think of as a collective crew, Detroit City, that we would have on a track like that. But the man himself. So it worked out really awesome for everybody, and we were all super stoked to have Short bless the track.
Absolutely. Now, what I love about the record is, Short, you definitely just brought your brand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was expecting maybe for you to approach it differently, but your vibe, your flow, your cadence that we all know and love fit perfectly on this record. Did you at all attempt or think about, switching it up a bit?
No, I feel like when you merge different genres, I think that's the beauty of it, is that I don't try to step outside the box and be something that I'm not. I think that's the collaboration part of it,
Right.
And I feel like, if I'm collaborating with any type of artist, I'm like, do you, let me do me, and let's see what we get. That's the magic of collaboration. I was comfortable with it though, man. I didn't get the track at no point did I think, let me turn into some electronic dude or something.
Right.
I don't think that's what the merge is all about.
Word. Now, when you got Short's vocals back on the track, what was the reaction like when you heard it?
I mean, come on, man. It's like, it's not every day that you get a opportunity to collaborate with somebody who's so well respected and so well cemented into the hip hop culture. Like,
right.
We were stoked, man. Like, it's like, shit, I don't even know what to tell you. I must have listened to that motherfucker 10 times before I even knew what to think about it.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find out exactly who are the Detroit City players.
Wow.
So it's all
go ahead, Troy.
No, I'm just saying it's kind of a mysterious kind of song
right.
to me, because it's such a hot record. I'm like, we on to something here. Who the fuck are we?
Yeah. So our thing is Detroit City is like, we're a collective of producers and artists, and we try and stay anonymous. So Short and I have only met when we've had masks on. We don't come out in public, and we don't show our faces. So part of this whole thing is we're trying to keep it keep it quiet who Detroit City actually is. So
Right.
we got a couple other works in the canon, and not one artist that we've worked with knows who we are yet. So pretty cool.
That's super ill. Off the top, as a hip hop fan, that reminds me of original Ghostface Killer from Wu-Tang. You never saw his face until longer down the line. But it's an ill concept to kind of keep the mystery angle of it, especially in a day and age right now where social media and everybody is trying to be famous and have their face recognized.
Part of this whole thing was that, like you said, it's like in this day and age, people are more about getting recognized rather than creating things that are innovative and artistic.
Yeah.
So it's like for us as a crew, like we just decided that like the art is above everything else, and that we want to just make rad shit. And who gives a fuck if anybody knows who you are? If they like the music, like let's get good shit out.
Yes, that's
let's not let anything stand in the way. So I have no future plans, and no one in the crew has any future plans of ever demasking the Ghostface Killer in the side of us.
Right now, Detroit City featuring Too Short, Freaky is out right now. Is this a part, the single that is out now, is this a part of a bigger project, or are you guys rolling out singles? How is this going to roll out?
I don't know what the future holds quite yet. I mean, I would love to work with Short again on some other stuff. We have some other things in the pipeline with some other artists. And, we're producing some stuff for some other artists, too. So, like, as an artist project and as a collective of producers and writers, we're working on some other stuff, too. So there's some more things that will be coming out in the top of the year for sure. But, yeah, it would be a blessing to work with Short again.
Well, on my end, man, I'm just really, I know for a fact, watching how the industry goes, that dance music that you can dance to goes a lot further than just regular hip hop. So I'm trying to travel the globe and see what's happening in the dance music parties.
Absolutely. Now, one thing that I've also appreciated about your career is that you've always stayed relevant and stayed current, but also stayed you at the same time. So, just talk about that. What other things are you into right now that you can see yourself, kind of putting your brand in the future, Short?
Well, the way that I stay relevant, I give all the credit to cities like Oakland, California, where I got my game from, and it's just that keep it real mentality, not really allowing you to be something that you're not or be fake. So I give credit to Oakland, and then my newest and greatest ventures are my new facility I got in LA. I just built this super mega compound that just has everything you want inside of it, as far as making music and filming content and stuff. And I'm just, my passion is actually helping people get in the game and starting careers. So,
Wow.
That's what I'm still doing. I'm just trying to get careers going, and not just rappers. We're dealing with singers, directors and producers and songwriters and rappers and,
That's
the whole
amazing.
9 yards. So I'm just trying to make sure that, man, somebody gave me an opportunity, and I had a wonderful career in the music industry, and I'm just trying to make sure somebody else gets the same chance I can.
That's amazing. And it's ill because we definitely see your influence on the game right now, all the way down to now, artists like Travis Scott, even Kesha threw the $sign in their names, and we all knew that was from Too Short. And then a lot of
I raised a bunch of players, man.
There you go. There it is, man. Freaky is out right now. Go check it out. It's a dope record. Shout out to the homies. Thanks so much.
Thank you
for your time. Now I want to get into what rap fads would you like to see stay in 2016 when the clock strikes 12 on December 31st?
Motherfucking auto-tune, please.
No more auto-tune.
At least give us a year break. At the
Make
very
it a vintage
least.
sound in 2018.
Yeah, man. Like it's just played to death, man. And
That's definitely a deal breaker for you. I've noticed that some of like our favorite artists to champion and get behind and support when you hear the moment Juan hears that you got some auto tune on your stuff.
But it's like that saying, like, too much of a good thing isn't good. Like, I fucking love marshmallows, but I'm not gonna eat marshmallows I don't want marshmallows with everything and every day.
Yeah. Right.
That's just how we're human. That's how we are.
Right.
That's how I see auto tune. It sounded dope when T-Pain started it. Oh, that fucking new sound. That shit's cool.
Right.
And then it started moving along, but like this year, like Travis, that entire record is auto-tune. Kanye, auto-tune to fuck.
Right.
And then artists that I love, like, coming up that are still not superstars, but I still enjoyed, like, they're starting to auto-tune shit. And I'm just like, yo, like, the new Cudi record that he just put out recently, there's auto-tune, and I'm just like, for fuck's sake, man. Can we just, like, take a break from it? I'm not saying you're a shitty artist because you auto-tune, because that's, inconsequential. It's just, try something new. Like, let's just, like, we'll appreciate it more when it's gone for a while and then hear it again, or a new version of it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
my thing. Like, I keep making auto-tune, like, better, keep pushing it, like, I'm all about it. But when I was ready to answer you with, like, I'm ready for 2016 to leave behind, like, the Lil Yachty type of thing, where it's like kids who are relying only on auto-tune and who are just the hype seems so, like, disproportionate for these people. Like, like if they're right off the bat, they're doing something you think is fun, but it's like hollow. It's like, enjoy it, but don't
don't OD on it. Don't
OD on it. Well, there's just a lot of them, and
I feel you on that. Like you said, it's hollow. It's empty calories. It's no substance there.
And that's fine, but, like, don't make it the thing that the year is about.
Right.
Like,
and it was the year of Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi, a lot of my beef with them and why I would want them to stay in 2016 is because I felt like there was none more disrespectful when it came to the legends and when it came to the history of hip hop. It's one thing for you to say, I'm 19, I'm 20, stupid. I don't know what, I really wasn't exposed to or listened to. But it's another thing to be like, that shit is old, that shit is whack. It's like, if that shit didn't exist, you wouldn't. Your noise that you're able to put out wouldn't have been able to be put out had that not come before you. So whether you like it or you don't, shut the front door and show some respect. Yeah. That's me. The thing that I want to leave in 2016 is mumble rap. I want that shit to go away.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. And I was thinking about Young Thug too, and, like, I like listening to him, but the popularity of it and, like, the
you want the oversell.
But I think with those songs also, you gotta take into account that the production, the melodies are catchy,
right?
And that's why they blow up.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Panda, for example, that shit blew up. Most in part because of the fucking beat, because of the production,
and because of his voice.
And because of his voice.
I mean, his voice complemented the beat well.
Absolutely.
Because it's about Panda. Until people don't know it's about
that
Panda.
too. Pandas go a long way. Like you said, like Young Thug, like, you don't know what the fuck he's saying.
If I can't understand
the melody,
right,
and the production, it's catchy.
Right. But here's my thing.
I like some Young Thug too.
But
me too.
That all has its place. And to Juan's point, the melody, the flow, the cadence of what you're saying on the record is important. But here's my problem. And this may be attributed to the microwave age that we live in and everything is instant and everybody wants shit now. There's always been rappers who've had great melody and pattern and flow, and you could understand clearly what they said because the mumble part was the reference track. And you would listen to the mumble. When you like the melody that you got, you would then put clear lyrics to it. It didn't even have to be good lyrics. As long as what you were saying was said in a fly way, then cool. We can't even understand what it is that you are saying, and that is not acceptable.
But even that has taken a life of its own because it gives songs legs, because it gives it that intrigue of, like, what is he really saying?
Right. Then it becomes a viral, if you can decode it.
Again, I hate to use the example again. Panda blew up, but then the Rap Genius version of him saying what he actually is saying, shit made the song more popular.
Right.
That video blew up. He blew up because he had to
Right.
explain the words. So I feel like that shit takes a life of its own.
And shout out to Genius. Shout out to Rob Markman and the people over there putting in their work, because there was a time where you couldn't even affiliate mumbling rappers who had nothing to say with Genius. And now the fact that they've expanded that platform to include and to actually show the hidden genius that is a designer, that is, you know, when it wasn't until I heard the, sad to say, Carmen cover version of Panda, where she eloquently and crystal clear delivered every lyric. I was like,
I never saw that.
yo, he killed this record.
All right.
Lyrically, he killed the record.
Oh, yeah.
But you can't understand it. Therefore, it doesn't exist. Carmen's version of Panda is better than Designer's version.
That's
Man,
cool
you
'cause-
flipped on Designer.
And it makes you appreciate the art of, you could be really good with the pen,
Right.
but if your delivery is shit,
It's trash.
you're not going to get the credit for the artistry with the pen.
Right.
To throw out another one that I want to keep in 2016 is this whole the streets fuck with this, the streets fuck with that. I hate.
All right.
I cannot stand that because
A lot of different streets, like you were saying.
like it comes off of that argument, that J. Cole argument, like, yo, the streets fuck with this person. It's like, on that block.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, I gotta get to a kids' holiday concert, so let's keep it clipping along here because we're trying to talk about a whole year and a whole another year.
Oh my God. Last.
Azealia Banks.
You
That's
want
it.
her
That's
to
it.
stay?
Say in 2016.
You win.
Yo,
Keep
first
it
of all,
moving.
that's a milestone moment on this podcast because no one has come to the aid and or defense of Azealia Banks. No one has given her more opportunities to redeem herself.
Her mixtape is on my list.
story.
That was good. That was in April, but the hole has gotten too deep. Just stay behind. Everybody knows why. Just
As the
vibe.
kids say,
Right.
facts.
Facts.
Facts
I
only.
love that. All right, we'll end it
What
on
else?
that note.
No, nothing else. Nothing else.
Nothing
Do we
else.
wanna
You guys are gonna let Drake go into 2017?
I think Drake
he's
gets
just
a
doing what he
pass.
does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he gets
like,
a pass.
I
ain't
wish.
mad at him.
I wish more rappers just stop fucking singing.
Right. Yeah, I want that's another thing. That's a good one. Last one. I want rap singing to end in 2016.
Wow.
In 2017, you are either a rapper or you are a singer. I don't need a rap singer. That shit is noise and it's annoying. Now,
you guys are
if
in
you
trouble.
can
You guys are in trouble.
do
No, I'm not.
both
I'm
well,
not in trouble.
if you can
I
do
just
both
don't buy
well,
it.
then you're an artist. You're not a rap singer. There is a difference. Buddy, Pharrell's new artist, can sing his ass off and can rap his ass off. That is approved. Drake can't sing very well, but can rap his ass off, and I guess technically can hold a note, though I have still yet to hear his ability to sing. But because he's exceptional in one area, will accept the other area as fault. Tory Lanez also gets a pass just because I think it's very early in his career and he's still experimenting and he's still stealing old hits and making them new hits, and that shit is whack. But he does have the ill
Yeah, that
ability
shit.
to rap.
That's a good one to fucking keep away, man. Like, make your own
Make your own damn
music,
songs.
man. For fuck's sake.
Make your own damn songs.
I'll be
bro.
like,
How would you guys feel if people want to say that to you in your life, though?
What do you
Just
mean?
let them live.
What do
sometimes
we
you want
do?
to do different
no,
stuff.
it's
You got
not-
different
it's
appetites,
almost like
you know?
a challenge, man. Like, make your own music.
But I'm
Be
thinking about guys
inspired by
like
those records.
Cole or like Gambino back then, or like Kendrick. Like those guys sing, but it's just because they want. That's how
what they
they
wanna
felt.
express.
That's how they felt at that part
see,
in the song.
again,
that sort of
I
thing.
They
said
also don't
if
give a
you-
shit about what.
But you're an
Gambino
artist.
does.
But don't like
if
do a
you're
push
doing
for
it.
being like
But
a singer,
don't
quote unquote. You're saying?
These fools out here calling themselves rap singers.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, I don't really sing, but I don't really rap. Well, then but again, if you don't do one well, then you're not there yet.
But it's also like, if you can't sing live, functionally,
Yeah.
because like
You're
they're
in trouble.
with Childish, right? On the record, he sounds fine. I saw him play Fallon, and he did Redbone.
Mm-hmm.
He sounded fine, but I've seen like a live show of him singing, and it wasn't great. So, and then what other rappers do is on the records that they sing, they don't sing live. They turn the mic to the audience and let them sing the hook.
Or they got the track in the background, and then they at that point just lip singing, and the track is there.
The track's bad.
Like, dude, look, who the fuck? I don't make music. Who the fuck am I to tell anyone how to make music? But
it's just what you guys want to hear.
But to me, like, you know,
and what Esteban wants everybody to do.
Like
Cole's what I tell you to do.
Cole's a good example where like he sings on this record, and I don't think he sounds good when he sings.
Right.
But he's in the class where he legit does not give a fuck whether
and
people
he's an artist.
like it, critique it, or not. He just does it because he's an artist, and that's how like you said, chooses to express himself. My thing is, you know, like we said, subjective. Not my cup of tea. I don't want to hear rappers sing that can't sing.
No more rap
If you can sing your fucking ass off.
Right.
That's totally cool. But if you like, I would just rather, you know.
Right.
You want to make a fucking singing album? Make a like Gambino. You know what I'm saying? You want to make an album where you sing? Make a whole album where you sing. If you want to make one where you just rap, make a whole one rap. But then we also got to think about, and this is a great analogy. I interviewed Sage, the gentleman, yesterday. He made a very good analogy about today's fans. Fans are like children. He's like you have to appeal to them on their level. And today, people have no patience. They
got no level.
Look at this guy.
Wow.
That's it.
But like he's like, yo, like I have to make a record that serves this. I have to make a record that serves that. Because not today, they're like kids. They either like it or they don't. Or if they do like it, but if it's coming from a source that the general consensus around them doesn't like, they will not acknowledge the fact that they like it. And that is 100% spot on. Because that's what people will do. They'll be like, yo, this song is dope. Who is that?
Wale.
But it's like, no, that's a dope song. Who is that? And you'd be like, oh, that's Justin Bieber. They'd be like, oh, I hate that shit. I'm like, 2 minutes ago you were loving it. Now you hate it because I told you who it is. Like, that's not. But that's the reality of the audience.
Boom. All right, moving on to predictions for 2017.
Predictions or hopes? Prediction?
I think prediction.
I like that.
Slash
What do we
hopes.
think's gonna happen?
Prediction,
slash
but
hopes.
label it a prediction or a hope before you go into it.
All right. Who didn't? Oh, Jay-Z album, definitely hope. I can't believe he didn't do it this year.
I'll second that. I'm more interested to hear, because Holy Grail to me was a great album. I'm more interested to hear what he has to say and how he's going to say it moving forward.
Yeah.
So I am interested in hearing that.
I'm not.
We already know that. So, any other hopes or predictions?
I'd love to get the M album this year.
You were going to say that
because it's M.
Right.
Do you think he will, or no idea?
I think he will. Probably like late in the year or mid to late.
All right.
I think that's the only one I'm really, 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 really looking forward to, just because the last one was so not great but not bad. If that makes any sense.
I hope.
You hope
that Nicki Minaj will make something that impresses you guys.
No, Esteban likes Nicki, and
dude,
I love, a project.
I love Nicki Minaj when she raps. She's another one who gets a pass because she's an exceptional MC in my opinion, and a shit singer.
The Pink Print was closer. That was her best album yet, and it was closer to what it needs to be. So hopefully next time
I mean, why beat a dead horse? She's never said anything that I've heard her say that I'm like, oh damn, that's a hefty bar right there. That's making me think. So that's just why I never.
I'm predicting
Waikiki.
Yeah.
What?
No, that was a Nicki Minaj line.
The first punch that I ever heard her say was on a
like
cipher somewhere, and the first line was like, "They call me Dracula because I count chips." I'm just like, that is so simple-minded and not even fucking thought-provoking. Pass.
Ouch.
And everything I heard of her after that was on that level or worse, and then she just started singing in that fucking deep Starship whatever album that was voice, and I was like, I'm done. No need.
I'm glad she got rid of the monster Nicki voice.
Oh, that was
glad
another.
that was left in the dust with her Barbie era when she became natural Nicki. I'm glad that the crazy Tourette's voice went away. I'm predicting the debanning, the breaking up of good music in 2017.
Ooh, that's a bold prediction, bro.
I think that a lot of the artists are going to fall out, and it's not going to be pretty, and there's going to be some splitting.
I mean, we've
up
seen
and dividing.
Shinx in the armor.
We did.
With Sci-Hi and
Yep.
now Cudi and.
I want to see somebody beat Drake. Just like somebody get one over on Drake in some way. That is significant. That everybody can agree.
Right.
Like
That's
Drake got.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
I like that.
Didn't
I would say
Button
Button, but it wasn't significant because no one cared.
Bigger.
No one cared about Button.
Bigger.
I hope and would love to get a Nas project.
Yeah, Nas album about to drop.
Nas album done.
Nas album done.
I would love to get
that
a
would be
project
great.
from Nas.
That was back in August, I think, that we got that song.
Right,
so.
exactly.
I mean, he keeps showing up here. Like he was on that Hamilton mixtape.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he's busy. Like I feel like he's very underrated, and Esteban would agree with me because everyone always talks about Jay-Z and his portfolio and his businesses, but like on the low, like Nas has been making moves like this year and last year with the clothing line and
with history,
with Bevel, with Hennessy,
with Sweet Chick, Mass Appeal, with Genius, with
and you know what's
what
the
else
best
does he
part?
own? Lyft.
Yeah,
he's a huge investor in Lyft.
And the best part is that you have to look for that information to find it.
Right.
He's not putting his face on it. Whereas Jay-Z will put his face, his voice.
Because that's what.
No, I understand that, but that's why
cachet.
But that's what's refreshing about Nas's ventures, that he's doing it, and he's not at the forefront of it, and that I think to me makes me like him more, because I like that when you could do things and you don't have to be the center of attention.
I'm gonna make another bold prediction.
Okay.
There will be a Drake, Meek Mill, and Nicki record.
Okay.
You know what?
There will be a song.
I agree with you. I think that happened too.
I hope
song.
that Chance and Childish Gambino will link back up.
Word.
Gambino was like instrumental in pushing Chance up.
Yeah.
He really helped bring him up, and they barely mentioned each other. Chance just recently said, "Yeah, we will do a mixtape still."
Word.
I have a prediction.
Hit it.
I predict that Ariana Grande is gonna dump the shit out of Mac Miller.
All right.
And then
we're
we're
gonna make some great music.
I was gonna say, and we're gonna get a fucking record of Mac Miller going in on her about.
Was there anybody this year who like teased that they might rap who doesn't rap? I wonder.
Tease that they might rap that doesn't rap. No.
Obama?
Somebody's gonna try to rap.
You think so?
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh no, Shia LaBeouf had that freestyle.
2 of them.
Oh, 2 freestyles?
Yep.
I don't know, man.
I didn't watch those.
Shia LaBeouf's. Yeah, the first one was really good.
Really?
All right,
The one on Sway. Yeah. Watch it.
Good for him.
Breakout. Give me an artist that's breaking out this year.
Ooh.
2017, rather, not this year.
I mean, hopeful, like to me, Samus, who
I was just gonna say, yeah,
she's way too fucking good and talented not to break out and just go up another notch.
Yeah.
From where she's at.
Please do, yeah.
She's just too smart and too talented, and the production is so good, and her appeal to not only is she a female, but like her appeal to like nerd and all walks of life. Smart
She's
people,
like a first generation kid.
Yeah,
she has a PhD.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, like I would love for her to break out and like just become along the line, like just drop something that gets notoriety. So like it just goes up in a level of notoriety. Like I wish the same thing for Megaran, because like again, way too talented to just be a niche rapper.
Who is gonna break out?
I'm going to say it, and I don't think that they technically broke out this year because it was only one record. I'm going to say Young M.A. is going to break out next year.
Okay. I hope these guys actually Sweatshop Boys, Heems from Das Racist and Riz Ahmed, who's in the Star Wars movie that's about to come out. They put out this album. They have a very important perspective. It's going to be Trump's America
it's a fresh
in a few weeks.
Too.
Very fresh, very useful. These guys are not who you usually see in rap, and their chemistry. Like I hope they just keep the wave going. I also hope this isn't a breakout, but I hope I know what's gonna happen. I'm looking forward to new Angel Hayes music. I love her.
Yo, I do really like Angel
Hayes,
man. Yo, I feel like 2017 might be the year of the ladies, man.
Let's see.
We're talking about
every major
Samos,
dude put out a project. So.
Young M.A.
already this year.
Talking about Angel Hayes. I would love to hear More Rhapsody next year.
Yeah, it'll be big. We'll have more balance, I think.
Word. I think that's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Word. All right, well.
Thank you guys so much. This has been one of the
It's
most
been a
fun
great
parts
year.
of the year every week.
Yes.
We're so pumped you guys listen to us, whether you're like new or
Yeah,
old.
all the feedback we
It's really
get
cool.
is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Word.
thank you.
And Zach's going to take us out with a 45.
Oh, no. I didn't come up with it.
Well, you better think fast, brother.
All right, I got it. A 45
Hit it.
is the size of a record.
That was terrible.
Come
you gotta
on, man.
give us one more. Even
The
at least make
size
one
of a
up.
record,
I
you
was
nerd.
enjoying your guys' company. I didn't want to be
Vinyl
cruising
nerd.
around
Give
on my
us
phone.
a 45 player.
Name a tennis player besides Pete Sampras.
No more tennis, bro.
Why?
Come on. Give us a 45, Zach.
We'll be here till 2018.
All right, peace.
Peace.